Hello and welcome to High Point Music Gear Reviews. I'm Lewis, and in today's episode I'm going to take you through the Boss SD1w Overdrive. So the Boss SD1w Wisercraft Super Overdrive is a reissue of their classic SD1 circuit with the addition of the standard or custom switch that the Wisercraft pedals are relatively known for. That switch gives us an option of changing the amount of gain and the frequency response of the pedal between its classic and a bit more modern sound, adding some gain and adding a little bit of lower mid-range just to thicken the sound of your overdrive up. So I'm going to show you some low gain, medium gain, high gain sounds and the differences between the standard and custom switch in those sound ranges. So let's give it a listen. So we're going to start off in the low gain range on the standard mode. With the least amount of clipping going on, it's still sounding reasonably clean. And as we slowly dial that gain control up, watch that volume, you can start to hear getting a little bit sharper sounding. At about 9 o'clock, it's getting reasonably overdriven. You're kind of going here from amp overdrive into creating actual overdrive with this pedal. And as that gets higher, you can hear it getting a little bit sharper sounding, those upper harmonics coming through. We're at about medium, so I'll just flick across to that custom mode. You can hear the push in the mid-range and the gain. Go back and forth a little bit on that. And back up. So I'll dial that forward a little more. And then across to the custom. And back. You do notice a bit more gain pushing through with this setting on the custom mode to my ears. And go back to the standard sound and put that at maximum. And there is a pretty noticeable jump to me there, at least at maximum gain going from the standard to the custom modes. That mid-range push is definitely accenting it as well. Standard. So a little bit thicker, a little bit more crunch going on. Let's pull that back down. A really, really mild overdrive in the standard mode at about that 8 o'clock point. And while we're going to jump between the standard and custom modes, I'll just give you a little bit of gain for a contrast and sweep that tone control back. So it gets pretty dark once you start filtering out that treble sound. But if you've got a particularly bright bridge pickup or a bright setting on your amp, you'll notice that change is reasonably subtle. Do get a little bit more push in the lower tone controls as well. Watch that, move it forward. So that's pretty bright to my ears. The standard mode I actually think sounds pretty good with the tone control up this high. Just a little bit less sharp sounding. Whereas that's quite a pushed sound. So there are some rhythm sounds. Definitely noticeable in the high gain and the low gain range, the differences in that standard and custom switch. Pickup changes or guitar changes, I think you'll find that to be pretty versatile. So now we'll do some lead sounds and show you what you can hear with those. So reasonably neutral setting. Just a little bit of amp-like overdrive at this point. Push a little bit of gain there and jump across to the custom. Definitely adds some thickness to those lead lines. So maybe if you're not using this custom mode on rhythm stuff, you might find more usefulness in the custom mode on lead work. Just thins it out a little bit. We'll go to about half or 1 o'clock on the gain control. Jump across to the custom again. That mid push that the custom mode gives is a little bit of a perceived volume change as well. Just because we're hearing a bit more frequency than we are in the standard mode. Go to almost maximum there, which isn't a huge jump. But when you go to the custom mode, you can really hear the pick hitting the strings now. So a really nice accent to that control. And of course, if we brighten that up, you can accent that even more with the tone control. So we'll go for a bit of a darker sound. And jump across to the custom mode, which again is just adding a bit more bite and body to the guitar tone, making that lead line stand out a bit more. So still reasonably clean. And then of course it thins back out, going back to the standard mode at almost 0 gain. So there's a quick run through on the SD1w. You can definitely hear that the custom mode adds an extra bit of depth and a bit of character to your guitar signal. Probably a really good switch for this pedal because it's going to give you a little bit more variance in your tone. You're going to get an extra set of settings out of the pedal with every guitar. If you like using your bridge pickup and your neck pickup together, you can really vary those sounds quite a bit. I much prefer the sound of something like an SD1 to a Tube Screamer, which they are reasonably similar style pedals. They both have a pretty big mid-range push. And having that extra range of gain and frequency control means you get a little bit more out of it. You can use it in more amps, more guitars, and it'll probably end up being the staple of your overdrive sounds on your pedal board. It's a very classic sound, that mid-range push. So if you haven't got a Tube Screamer and you haven't got an SD1 already, the SD1w is a pretty great option to check out. If you'd like to pick one up for yourself, you can do so by following the link below. Don't forget to check out the blog, which is also available via a link below. If you liked the video, let us know. You can follow us on our social media, like, share, subscribe. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.